Thank you. Before we start tonight, the Sudbury Five would like to begin our game today. Okay. The Sudbury Five would like to start our game tonight. We'd like to begin our game today by acknowledging the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850. We also further recognize that the Sudbury Community Arena is located on the traditional lands of the Atikamekw Anishinaabe, and that the greater city of Sudbury also includes the traditional lands of the Wanapatei First Nation. All of us here at SWSE would like to extend our deepest respect to all Indigenous peoples. Miigwech.
I'd now like to draw your attention to second court for the young Thunderbirds.
Welcome 5 fans to tonight's game against the Newfoundland Rogues. We now ask that you please stand if you're able, presenting the colors tonight. 2964 Walden Irish Army Cadets. Carrying out the colors, Sergeant Boucher and Warrant Officer Dickinson, accompanied by Master Warrant Officer Ferris. If you're able to, remove your hats for the singing of the American National Anthem by John Felsman, the Canadian National Anthem sung by Ojibwe by Akwe Rowe, and the Canadian National Anthem sung by Ecole St. Paul.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we won were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hello and welcome inside the Sudbury Community Arena. It is TBL week here at the arena, and the Sudbury Five welcome a couple teams from the Basketball League, and that is starting with the Newfoundland Rogues. I think we're going to go back down to the finish off Canada, and then we'll come back up.
Glory
welcome inside the Sudbury Community Arena. There are 3 anthems in this game. It is a special Indigenous Heritage Night here at the Sudbury Arena as SWSE is partnering with Skamaqua Health Center, and they're wearing special designed jerseys that you're going to see in just a moment that was designed by a local artist. So it's a huge night here in Sudbury, and as I mentioned, TBL week, the Newfoundland Rogues here to take on the Sudbury 5, and then the Tri-State Admirals will be here on Sunday afternoon to take on the 5. So I'm Nick Liard, Rick Wyman joining me as always. The Sudbury 5, we haven't seen them in a little bit. They've been on the road. They struggled in Ontario, but we're doing pretty good out east in Atlantic Canada.
It's Newfoundland hospitality, of course, and the 5 took full advantage of that. Couple of wins over the Rogues last weekend, but before that, losing out in Windsor and in KW. But again, going to Newfoundland, it's a great way to get the team, to galvanize the team on the road, get a couple of sleeps on the road, and you know what? You get a chance to play a totally different team. Here, that team is back in Sudbury tonight. So again, the 5 look like they're fully recuperated, at least from any possible side effects of the travel. And this is a team that's still in first place. They've only lost 3 games so far this season. So, you know what? The 5 looking good. Someone asked me today, how are they doing? I said the 5 are doing great. If they continue at this string right now, playing a couple of teams from the TBL, they'll add 2 more victories to their win total.
Yeah, 10-3 on the season. Those 3 losses, 2 of them came on this recent road trip, but they right the ship out east, and you spent some time out east in Newfoundland over the course of your career, over your life, and it's easy to rejuvenate yourself out there.
Newfoundland's a great spot, and the thing is, it's not only the scenery, the social life, but just the atmosphere, and I'm sure that playing at the old Memorial Stadium, they now have I think it's called
the Mary Brown Center.
The Mary Brown Center, yes.
Center, yeah.
Yes, best legs in town, open until 2 a.m. That's what we used to say in St. John's, but it's a great spot to hang out. And a friend of mine does some work for the junior hockey team as well, and he just loves it over there. He's from Nova Scotia. He hasn't left. So again, that speaks volumes about the place to be sometimes is on the Rock, and it's in St. John's.
Well, they just had 55 centimeters of snow yesterday, so they're actually escaping the snow coming to Ontario and coming to Sudbury. They had a big win over Lake Erie. Now, the 2 games out east in Newfoundland were pretty close between Sudbury and the Rogues.
10 and 5 points.
Exactly. 106-96 the first game, 105-100 the next game. So this is a team that is not to take lightly, especially wanting some revenge coming into Sudbury here.
Well, they're trying to get ready for the TBL season, so they're playing teams here in Ontario, and you know what? It's a good case of, managing your bench, getting used to your starters, facing some really good competition. So there's nothing really better than playing the Sudbury 5 or the Newfoundland Rogues right now to get this team where they want to be in the TBL East Coast Division.
As you see, the jerseys specially designed by a local artist, Raven DeBossi. Those are going to be auctioned off starting tonight. The auction will run until next Thursday. So you can head to the Sudbury 5 website to find out more and how to place your auction. Billinger starts with the ball for Sudbury. Kotov, who had a big week out east, finishes and starts the scoring.
Well, they made that one look easy, and Kotov is one to get going early, because if that momentum continues, he can certainly be a tremendous asset to this starting lineup for the 5.
First game out east, Kotov had 25 points on 10 of 12 shooting. And then the second game, he had 19 points. He was only outshined by Charlie Marquardt, who had 35 in that 105-100 win. Billinger's stepping up his game, up over 13 points a game now on the season. There's Charlie, buckets for 3.
Yeah, from the corner, made that one look easy, had all kinds of time. So again, the Rogues looking a little confused out there in the early going. They'll have to settle in early.
Jerseys auctioned off will go to the Skamaqua Health Center, all the proceeds to help them with programs and services. Now, number 10, you're going to want to watch for him on the Newfoundland Rogues. He's their leader. Dedrick Boyd had 34 points against Lake Erie, and then in one of the games against Sudbury, 29 points. That one in the 106-96 loss. Here's a look at the foul early on. Shaquan Barrett with the ball. He is a familiar name. Couple seasons with the KW Titans and one with the Windsor Express, now with the Newfoundland Rogues. Barrett, high arcing shot, goes off the glass, touched by the Sudbury 5. And did touch the rim, so shot clock will reset to 14. Stay with Newfoundland.
Well, Newfoundland with a couple of familiar names, and we'll be talking about those guys a little bit later on here in the broadcast. But again, just trying to get organized and getting their game plan intact.
There is Boyd with the pass, shot from the corner, no good, and out and running is Kotov. Took a couple steps. They let it go, and the dunk was pretty.
We call that one the stretch pass from the Sudbury zone. And Kotov off and running, and no mistake, uncontested.
May have traveled from Newfoundland on that one, but refs let it go. Shot for three. A big scorer for the Rogues, Noel Moffat, not playing in this game. He had 30 against Lake Erie. So they'll be missing his scoring, but they do have plenty of size, plenty of strength. Dwayne Notice leaves it for Kotov, can't handle the pass.
Close to being a foul for Newfoundland on that play.
First buckets for Newfoundland, that's Leonard Turner.
Newfoundland's going to have to go with the quick break and try to catch the 5 off guard here and get their offense moving. Quick on the transition, they'll have to be.
Wild shot put up by Barrett. Looking to draw the foul, does not. Bounce pass down low, Markard to Billinger. Back to the top, Notice. Uses the size, gets it to go.
Running set plays already, so again, Newfoundland not accustomed to that, but you can see, of course, the 5 have had a couple of months of work at this, so they know what they're doing out there.
Well, Rick, you mentioned it exactly. The Newfoundland Rogues just getting ready to get started. Talked to Dan Magley of the TBL, sorry, earlier before this game, said their season's going to start next week. So this is essentially exhibition time for the Rogues, who will be playing in the Atlantic Division of that league. Teams all over the U.S. and in parts of Canada as well.
And of course, it's important, it's really emphatic for the coaching staff to identify how they're going to play this season. Are they going to be a more defensive team? Do they want to be, a quicker team, play small ball? We'll have to check out some of the size. Don't see any giants out there right now, so they may be a small ball team this season.
Kotov with a beautiful spin and lay-in finish. He's got his 4th point of the game. Yeah, their head coach, Doug Partridge, spent a long time as head coach of the women's basketball team at Memorial University. Over a decade there. Nice finish by Antonio Davis Jr. And timeout by Partridge early in this one.
Well, Davis trying to get going. Some good games and some not so good games for him. But again, it's good to see him get a bucket. Hey, don't forget, you can catch the Sorta Local channel on YouTube and subscribe today. They've got a great lineup of podcasts, including the BTB Show, The Unlikely Innovators, and the always talked about Rick Wyman Show whenever Rick Wyman gets into the studio. So check them out and show some love. We've had a couple of good shows so far with Mayor Wannabe Bill LeDuc and, of course, Dario Zulich, never at a loss for words. So we try to get people that have a story to tell, or if they want to be emphatic about what they want to do and how they want to do it, like Bill LeDuc, who says that, you know what, we don't need a new arena, so he wants to leave that up to voters in and around the greater Sudbury. So always an interesting guest, and we'll get some things going in the not too distant future, but some great podcasts as well. Mike Cavito from Cambrian College, The Unlikely Innovators, is is a regular contributor. So some great listening as well. So check it out on the Sorta Local channel.
Yeah, BTB boys had a big hand in the Family Day broadcast to the Sudbury Wolves game. That was the Holy Mackinac game as they honored Joe Bowen retiring from the Toronto Maple Leafs. He got to do the broadcast with his son David.
Yeah, so I got kicked out of the booth. Joe came up. That's once a year. He comes up and, hey, Rick, take a hike. But I had to work that afternoon, so it's unfortunate. But anyways, I'll gladly acknowledge Joe for his efforts in broadcasting. Everyone has learned a lot from Joe, and we wish him the best upon retirement coming up in, I guess by mid-April, just before the Stanley Cup playoffs, or depending if the Leafs make the playoffs.
I mean, you can't get any better of a catchphrase either than Holy Mackinac. You having fun with the podcast, though?
It is a lot of fun.
Good.
It's a half hour goes by so quickly. It's the second one that I do, and I have one on lovethenorth.ca that I do with a friend of mine, and it's sports. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We've had some interesting guests, including Randy Pascal, Tracy Fleury, Mark Seidel type thing. So a different venue, not as hardcore as what we do on Sorta Local.
Dwayne Notice stepping back, hits front rim. 13-2 to start this game. Boyd trying to get going offensively, drops it off, bounces around, falls. Leonard Turner has all 4 points for the Rogues.
Well, don't look at the scoreboard right now. I mean, this is a long way from being finished, but the Five just getting going here early in the opening quarter.
Poked away. You mentioned Antonio Davis Jr. He has scored in double figures in 4 of his 5 games. The last game, just 5 points for him. So, working relationship, right? He's starting to figure out where he fits in to the lineup. The coaching staff starting to figure out where he fits into the lineup. And
like his role. What's his role?
Exactly.
What's his identity on this team?
Son of Antonio Davis, former Toronto Raptor. So we got Joe Bowen up here. Maybe he's next to Antonio Davis. Trip to the Nichols City as Markard, with clock winding down, puts up a shot.
Hey, if Antonio Davis shows up here, I'll step aside. I'll listen to your interview with him.
Kotov rebound. He's up at 6.6 rebounds a game. Notice uses the screen, taken away though. Barrett pushes it up ahead, shot from Harnett. One of the things that head coach Doug Partridge said that he wanted to do as Kotov gets fouled and won when he came in as the head coach of this team, is build a strong foundation and base of talent from the area on this roster, and then fill out here and there with some American-born players. But there's some really good talent and a really strong love for basketball out east and with the universities out there. So there's a market for it.
University basketball is huge. Having lived 5 years in the Annapolis Valley and having covered the Acadia Axemen, I can attest to that.
Oh, yeah.
Great rivalries with St. Mary's and St. FX and other teams as well.
Love their football, love their basketball out there. Pass all the way across, inside, down low, shot up. Good defense from Okafor, but they call a foul as De Silva will go to the line.
Have you noticed this season already, and I've kind of picked up on it several games ago, that Dwayne Notice doesn't have to be the guy.
Yeah.
We've got Charlie Markart and Kotov and maybe Antonio Davis Jr. Being able to take that next step, and where Notice can be the solid player that he is before he was counted on endlessly to perhaps lead or be a second guy in the lineup that has to do it all, but not necessarily so far this season.
Well, his scoring is spread around. They've got 6 players averaging double figures on the team.
And that's what you want to see.
Exactly. And I mean, that is also with the loss of Jaquan Lightfoot, who could be coming back. He is also averaging double figures. And then Keyshawn Bryant, who played the 2 games, was averaging over 30 points a game. But notice in the last couple of years especially, has rounded out the game to form where he's, rebounding the ball. He's got 5 rebounds a game. He's passing the ball around, 3.7 assists. So he's doing everything on the court. And the scoring numbers are down, but he'll tell you that he doesn't care about that if they're winning.
That's the most important part, and he's a veteran. He knows all about that, and just his influence on the floor is so valuable to this team.
15-6 early in this first quarter. Shot in the corner, good. That's Shaquan Barrett for 3.
Barrett with loads of time to get that shot away. He's got to be pushed somehow by the 5 defense.
Barrett went to Tulane University before transferring to Tennessee State. Okafor trying to find the pass from Kotov. Okafor had 13 points off the bench in that 105-100 win.
It's time for our floors and extra.
And Billinger actually 18 in that game.
That was a good sign to see him get it going.
Now Billinger now at 13.4 points a game. He's shooting 46% from 3. So he has really started to grow in his offensive game in his second season with Sudbury. Pass on the run, lay in good. Another one from Turner off the turnover.
Don't look now, it's a 4-point deficit for the Rogues. Kotov leading Sudbury with 8 early in this game, but it's tapered off a little bit in the last couple of minutes with Newfoundland and their resurgence.
Jamieson will step back and makes it. The 2 for Jamieson.
Well, there are high hopes for Jamieson to get his act together and to be a regular contributor offensively and defensively.
And there he is skying for the rebound. Another guy who fills the stat sheet, takes it right to the rim. What a finish from Devontae Jamieson.
Going coast to coast, uncontested. And look at the speed that he utilized right now to get back defensively. Yeah, he gets the foul called, but just the effort, the hustle to get back from one end to the other.
Well, that was absolutely crazy because he laid it in, and he was down on the baseline by our camera guy, awesome Terry Rive, and he beat everybody down the floor to get back on defense, and that just shows you the hustle, the heart from this kid. Devontae Jamieson, one of those players averaging double figures at 10 points a game.
Well, he's got 4 so far. Let's see what he can do.
He'll step back and go for 6 off front rim. Antonio Davis Jr. battling for the rebound, has it go off his hand.
What does Newfoundland want to do? Do they want to go inside on the 5? Are they going to try it and keep on shooting from the perimeter, outside the perimeter?
Dribble inside, pass out. Sorrell. Now Boyd, long 2. And that is Nervin's Demosthene skying for the rebound. Okafor back to Demosthene. He'll leave it for Notice. Back down on Bridgewaters. Now we have a discussion on what the call is. Watch it here on your screen.
Now, did Notice lead with his shoulder on that play? Because
yeah,
how better can you defend Notice on that play? Well, it's not against Notice. But hands were down, and Notice is pretty well in your face, just dribbling the ball. He's got to go somewhere.
Well, so it looked like you could have called a foul on either side, but they actually call a 3 in the key on the defense. So De Silva was parked in there, so there was no foul actually called, just a technical foul. Now they're going back inside. Notice out to Jamieson for 3. Davis battling again for a rebound, saves it. Notice off to Jamieson. Left hand pass, Demosthene, Okafor, 5-4-3.
Good passing around, giving him plenty of opportunity to get that bucket, and he made no mistake.
Okafor getting some more minutes. De Silva for 3. Now 23-14 with 2:30 and change left to go in this first quarter. Notice trying to draw that foul.
Off balance, getting that shot away off the rim.
Here's Boyd. Tough shot, gets the shooter's touch. And timeout called by the Sudbury Five as their lead shrinks. 23-16.
Well, Turner with 5 and De Silva, or rather Turner with 6 and De Silva with 5 so far in this game. So considering where they were, Newfoundland has managed to pick it up since the opening tip and keeping things somewhat close. They're not being run out of the building like they were earlier on in the first couple of minutes, so a good sign for the Rogues.
Yeah, making it more competitive, and I think it starts on defense with this team. They've turned the ball over on Sudbury a few times, poking the ball free, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition. They've hit some threes as well, but I think it does really start with honing in on defense and making that your number one priority. Try to stop the Sudbury Five and let the offense kind of take care of itself. We've talked about this time and time again. Defense travels, and so when your offense isn't falling, especially this far on the road, rely on your defense, get good stops, and keep the score down.
Well, if you can start being relatively close to a team like the Five, just think what you're going to do when you start playing other teams and Eastern teams, Halifax and what have you, Moncton in the TBL when you get back home. So that's a huge benefit for this team to learn on these road games and see what they can do.
Well, standings in the Basketball Super League, Sudbury in first place, 10-3, KW 11-4, then Montreal at 6-5, Windsor 8-7, Lake Erie 2-12 on the season. Still that disparity in games played as you got Montreal with just 11, a couple other teams with 15. That'll all even out at the end, but tough to gauge the standings at this point with those games played as Jamieson hits in the corner.
Hey, Windsor's Billy White was named Player of the Week in the BSL for his efforts. Nice to see.
Yeah, back with vengeance. Averaging over 19 points a game. Bridgewaters will take the 3. Not able to make. Jamieson out and pushing. And speaking of pushing, Antonio Davis Jr. gets him in the back. That'll be an offensive foul.
Yeah, that was more than a push. I think I'd probably call that a shove, but who am I to decide? A foul is a foul, and Newfoundland will inbound. Winding down the opening quarter here. Not a bad crowd for a Thursday contest. The only Thursday game we have on the regular season schedule.
We'll be back at it Sunday afternoon. The Tri-State Admirals from the New York area will be up. A little shorter of a trek than Newfoundland. De Silva with another 3.
Trying to narrow that gap to now 7 points.
Cecil Lee in the game for the Sudbury Five, number 34. Demosthene getting into the paint, left hand, what a finish.
Nice to see him get that because he's been stopped countless occasions. Now getting the inside move and getting the shot up, so important for him.
There's a shot rebound in the corner. Bridgewaters gets body checked by Jamieson.
Yeah, we'll save that for next time the Wolves are at home.
Well, the Wolves, speaking of them, they're on the road in Saginaw. They'll go to Flint, so a couple American games, and then they'll take on London to finish this weekend off.
It's not an easy road trip.
It's a tough one, especially this year, with Flint being where they are in the standings. London a little bit down, but still a very good team.
They've made strides in the second half, and it could be a dangerous team come playoff time.
You know, Sudbury playing well, even though they unloaded at the deadline. They've got some pieces back. Playing well as of late. Won a couple last weekend at home.
The only issue they've got right now is a couple of players out with concussion issues. So once they get over that hump, hopefully by the stretch run for the playoffs, we'll see where they wind up and who they play.
Well, right now holding down that final playoff spot, but not too far behind Kingston in the standings. Jamison for three. Dedrick Lee. Inside, swarmed by 5 players. Shot from Sorrell out to Silva, who's hit a couple threes, steps in for 2. High arcing shot. Started the game hot.
Nice move to get around that 5 defender.
Lee catches it down low from Jamison, fouled. Sorrell will send Cecil Lee to the line.
And De Silva leading Newfoundland with 10. Turner next at 6, and everybody else 3 2s and 1s.
First one goes. Cecil Lee 7 for 7 on the season coming into this game at the line. Make that 8 for 8.
He's got to get more court time. I know it's tough sometimes in some games, but this is a situation where, or at least tonight and Sunday, for him to get a lot more time.
That's the end of quarter number 1 as the Rogues battle back, but the Sudbury 5 near the end of that quarter get a couple good shots, a little foul trouble here and there, but 33-22 after the first quarter. How do you look at that one?
Well, a slow start for Newfoundland, and I was thinking, okay, this better not be a blowout. I don't want to see a blowout. Not good for the 5, not good for Newfoundland, at least the psyche. But then again, you want to see Newfoundland try to come up with some kind of identity as to what they're going to do, and that's fine. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to beat the Sudbury 5 tonight. Sudbury's just too good, much better, and they've been playing a lot longer. So the 5 had a good run earlier on in the game. Then after kind of slacked off a bit, Newfoundland started to get some points, and Kotov got off to a great start. He kind of started missing. Then Jamison comes in, racks up 10 points and what have you. But I think this is the type of game, Nick, that we're going to go to the bench and use it quite liberally for Sudbury. Newfoundland, yeah, you may want to stick to your core 6, your core 5, 6, maybe 8 guys or whatever to see what they can do. But Sudbury, you can play around with that bench and give everyone some court time, not only tonight but Sunday.
Yeah, it looks like they've already started to do that, going into their bench and getting players like Cecil Lee some run early on in this game. A good opportunity to go deep into your bench, stretch it out, and not put too much pressure or strain on the starters who are going to carry you down the stretch. 10-3 so far on the season for the Sudbury 5. 13 games remaining, so after tonight, just 7 home games. Goes by quick, and for the Sudbury 5, what I've noticed and thought this has been different than any other season that they've had is the lack of transactions, right? It's been pretty much the same team the whole season, outside of the loss of 2 players, the addition of 1. So there hasn't been too many moving parts. It's allowed them to really gel, and so I think this game, it's not so much about getting players playing time so we can see how you fit, and more so getting players playing time so we can give you some playing time.
And as you alluded to just a couple of minutes ago, if players come back, who goes?
Yeah.
That's a good problem for the coaching staff to decide as to who is going to stick around, because of course you want your best guys come playoff time, and there's no pulling back. There's a league deadline as well, so got to make those hard and fast decisions at times.
We had an inadvertent horn go off, so that stops play. Quarter time not ready just yet. Had some score clock issues earlier in the evening. They had figured them out, but
Where's Randy Pascal when you need him at the timekeeper's bench? Oh, he's still in.
yeah, he's still in beautiful Italy.
Yeah, that's right.
What I had said, because it was a cord that they just couldn't get connected, and it was ruining the score clock, so they were looking at backups. And I said, in like grade school where you have those flip charts, you flip the numbers over. It's stressful when you get from 9 to 10, because do I go forward or back? I don't know. And then I don't even know if they go up to 100. But maybe that's an option. Comes down to it.
In the last resort, you bring out the abacus.
Yep. Billinger in the corner. Marquard gets hit. No call. Play on, pass up. Boyd puts the brakes on, takes the 3. Dedrick Boyd still trying to find that rhythm. The top scorer on the team. Did go out of bounds off Sudbury, so it will stay with Newfoundland with 14 on the shot clock. Shaquan Barrett back into the game, as we mentioned. 2 seasons with KW, 1 season with Windsor. He gets Marquard to fall, but can't hit the shot, so the highlight clip ends early.
Yeah, a bit of a bump between the two, and no call on that, but that's okay. The referees let him play it through.
Billinger, nice rebound underneath, as that's Emmett Duvall getting some playing time.
5 using their bench, and that's a good thing in this game.
There's Boyd getting on the score sheet. Big 3 for him.
If you want to play that game all night long with Newfoundland, just in terms of getting a couple of shots away and some buckets, let them get 1 or 2, and you can do this all night long until we're done.
Shot, no good. Rebound picked up by the Rogues. Barrett driving baseline, gets Lee in the air. Boyd directing traffic.
Yeah, Newfoundland doesn't want to go inside. They keep on driving the ball back out.
Anthony Lafoe gets the pass, puts it up quick over the outstretched arms of Cecil Lee.
Make me a liar. That's okay. That's what you've got to do, and get more of that on the inside.
Marquard, pass around Okafor. Cecil Lee going for the rebound, and Boyd will grab it, pushing ahead. Guangzhou and Lee, defense on Boyd, tough shot. Emmett Duvall, rebound. Lee out and running, gets fouled hard, and will go to the line for 2.
I think Lee's probably better suited to playing that inside game as opposed to going for the 3s. Let him go inside. He can be physical.
He's got that size and the athleticism to do so. Lee at the line. Perfect on the season. Does not make me a liar. Notice will come back into the game. Guangzhou exits.
Oh, in and out. In and out.
First miss of the season at the line for Lee. Harnett spinning his man around. Shot no good.
Came up well short.
Yeah, Stomple Jr. inside, drop off. Nice finish off the pass from Marquard. That is Emmett Duvall.
That's what you want from Emmett. You want him to be there to clean up on any kind of miss and make sure.
Shot no good. Deep 3 from Anthony Lafoe. Billinger going between the legs. Duval for three. Cecil Lee battling. Harnett comes away with the board. Now Barrett. 38-27. Make that 38-30 as Barrett hits the three.
We're just playing three-point ball right now, back and forth.
Well, to your point, the Rogues doing their best to stay in this. They did it both times in Newfoundland. Lee gets the two to go.
Yeah, that's a nice area for him to be and get those shots away. Clean up, play defense if he has to, or grab a rebound.
Nice take inside. LaFoe will go to the line. Foul charge to Cecil Lee.
Not a bad crowd for a Thursday night, of course. It's Indigenous Acknowledgement Night. And a lot of people out to see basketball for the first time, and they're enjoying it. 5 crowds have been very consistent this season, so whenever you get a chance, you got to drop on by and check it out. It's better live. I mean, TV's great. We appreciate you watching the stream, but you got to be here to soak in the atmosphere.
Now, once again, special jerseys designed by local Indigenous artist Raven DeBossi. Cecil Lee in the corner. Markard rebound. Gives it right back to Lee. No foul called, out of bounds. There's a staying with Sudbury.
Just switching places.
Yeah.
Markart going to the outside, feeding inside.
Well, 2 players went to Markard outside. Recognized the mismatch and nobody on Lee inside. Going up for an alley-oop over the arms of Lee. A pass in the corner. Harnett gets it out. Barrett for 3, and he hits another one.
Nice one. That lead now 6 in favor of the 5 here. So Newfoundland sticking around, and that's what you want to see. Don't be soft out there. Just keep on driving.
Billinger out to Kotov for 3. Can't get it to fall. Look at Markart battling underneath, and he'll go to the line.
And for those of you watching in Newfoundland, great to have you tune in for tonight. A lot of snow that you had to endure, but we'll warm the cockles of your heart with this broadcast here tonight.
Well, I mean, that's a whole different meaning of screeched in right here. I mean, you're kind of stuck in there at that point. I mean, 55 centimeters, canceled snow again, or canceled school again out in Newfoundland, and I'm sure there's still some people online complaining about canceling school.
Yeah, they don't want to go. They can't afford a babysitter, don't want to stay at home and miss work. And there's so many ramifications of school closures, but you can't, if you can't get to school, you can't have classes, period.
Nice pass down low, short once again from Stonepole Jr. Notice, thought about 3. Gets it to Billinger. Nice pass down low. Kotov, the strength rising up.
Kotov strikes. It's been a while in this game for him to get a deuce. That lead back up to 11.
Jump shot counted and one. Harnett pulls up at the free throw line, got fouled. And a timeout is called. The jerseys that you see the Sudbury 5 wearing is designed by local artists, but they will also go to auction. That is live right now. You can go to the Sudbury 5 website to find the link. It's on Dash, powered by Dash. Bid on the jerseys, and again, all the proceeds go to the SKHC for programs and services there.
You can see some of the potential on a couple of players on that Newfoundland roster. Good shooting ability and making the effort defensively, what you want to see is a well-rounded starting five, maybe a 6 guy, a 7. But some of these guys can shoot. I mean, take a look at the score. It's only 44-36 here as we wind down the first half, but they haven't backed down. We've seen other teams back down after the 5 start to run up the score, but these guys, they're no strangers to Sudbury basketball. Some of these guys have played the 5 before, so they've been competitive in the past, and they're trying their utmost to be competitive here this evening.
This is a team that used to be in the BSL, and the year before that, they went to the TBL finals. So it's an organization, as we mentioned, they can draw from some really good talent, a good talent pool out east, and fill it out with players like Dedrick Boyd. But this, from what I'm seeing right now, it's not just a scrimmage or an exhibition game for these guys. These guys are playing hard. They're fighting for this game, and so that's great to see.
No, and it's constant adjustments for the coaching staff, trying to get the right guys to fit in specific situations and the game plan, and it's a work. I mean, we saw the shortcomings earlier that Joey Puddester faced after he got his team off the ground with limited time to prepare. So,
yeah, no exhibition season for the BSL. Went right into games. Bridgewater's thought about the shot. Harnett steps in. Down low. De Silva blocked by Antonio Davis Jr. Out. Bridgewater's for 3. Short. And Kotov comes away. Look at that quick passing up to Billinger for 2.
Yeah, using that bounce pass, and great setup there. Just bounced it on over, and Billinger was streaking down.
Defense to offense so quick with this Sudbury team. Barrett rising up. De Silva works around Jamieson and puts in another couple points. He's had a really nice first half, up to 12 now.
Yeah, De Silva leading all Newfoundland scorers, but he needs a lot more help.
Strength there from A.J. Davis. Catches it underneath and takes the contact and somehow gets that one to drop.
Kotov and Jamieson with 10 apiece to lead Sudbury, but again, they've got to get some scoring efforts down the list.
Correction number 1.
Bit of a drop-off after the 10 points apiece from Jamieson and Kotov. So we'll see what happens here by the end of the second quarter.
A lot of that has to do, though, with the, how deep they've gone into the bench already, how many players are getting minutes, right? In and out dribble, space. A bit of an issue for the Rogues. 1 to shoot, got to put it up. They do not. Turnover. Keep playing. Jamieson on the touchdown pass from Billinger. Jamieson can't finish. It was dunked, but the foul was called. Watch the defense to offense once again. Billinger just turns and fires. And Jamieson got hit on the head. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, that's just the guards they have to be aware of what's going on behind them at all times, because the 5 can be so quick on that transition, as we just saw. A quick pass, and we've seen a few of those so far this evening.
I think the biggest kind of difference this year to last year is the interchangeable point guards for this 5 team, right? It doesn't matter who's bringing up the ball. They have a number of players who can. You got Jamieson and Billinger, the prototypical point guards with them as Thien, but you also got guys like Markard and Notice who can carry the ball up, and that's such a nice option to have when you're a rebounder, right? There isn't one specific person I have to give the ball to. there's options. I can give it to anyone and they can carry the ball up and make plays.
Well, we've seen before situations where the 5 would box themselves in and just rely on 1 or 2 guys. In some situations, just 1 player to do all the heavy lifting. So now a better rounded team this year from what we've seen so far.
3 from Harnett. Cuts the lead back to single digits. Jamieson looking to stretch it out. Defoe. Harnett saves it inside to Silva. Puts up a wild hook shot. And Demosthene will grab the ball. Poked away. Stolen by Barrett. Stolen back by Demosthene. And that's the effort coaching staffs love to see. Notice driving baseline, beats his man, a little too much English on the shot. Kotov, he'll try a lay-in short on the shot, gets his own rebound, and he's fouled.
You know that expression, you don't have to have the most talent. If you have the effort, the coaching staff will teach you what you can, at least to take that next step slowly but surely, but effort is everything. And in any sport, then you have the effortless stars who don't push when they should, and that's more of a detractor or detraction than anything else for a coach in order to deal with. But effort, keep pushing, and you'll learn a lot in this game.
I think, biggest storyline right now in college basketball, Peterson for Kansas, he's a projected #1 pick, but he just never plays, and it's just such a mystery. He's had, cramping issues, and the last game took himself out of the game. And, if I'm an NBA scout or an NBA team who's going to have the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd overall pick, I'm looking at that and saying, okay, well, is he going to do the same thing at the next level? Or is it just, hey, I'm just trying not to get injured until I get to the NBA? But players in college now, they're making so much money that you don't like to see that. I want a guy who wants to be out there every single game. I want a guy who's trying, everyone's a little banged up. It's the guys who are saying, no, I'm good. The most famous times are the flu games. There's players who sit out. You're sick, you're sick. But Michael Jordan flu game, they end up being some of the coolest games in history.
His stock can fall. And you know what? Teams are getting smarter now. They're not just going with what the person can do. They want to do psychological testing. They want to talk to other teams. They want to find out what a possible recruit is all about. Because when you need someone at that pivotal moment of any game, can you rely on that individual? They want to know. And if you can't place your trust in that person, why would you draft them?
Yeah, when it comes down to it at that level, right, everybody's making a good amount of money. The #1 question for me is, how bad do you want to win? And right, if there's other aspects that are more important, then I don't know if I necessarily want you on the team.
No, I concur with that, because we've seen it too often. We've watched enough sports in our careers right now where, in some cases you could see and you could pick players out a mile away.
Notice stepping through, gets it out. Pass from Davis, Demosthene. Too hard, but push in the back. Davis gets fouled.
And I use Demosthene as a prime example. He's not the not the best player in the 5 roster, but he's out there constantly hustling, trying to improve his game at all times. And he gets spot duty, but he never quits. And I'm sure the coaching staff appreciates that.
Yeah, and there's things that will not show up necessarily on the score sheet, but they show up on film for coaching staffs to see, and they'll notice those things, and that's why he's starting to get more and more minutes, and a guy like Jamieson getting more and more minutes, because you just force the hands of the coaching staff. And
there's a role for Demosthene on this team. He doesn't have to play, all 4 quarters and play all 12-minute quarters all the time.
If you have role players who are willing to dive on the ball or dive on the floor for the ball in every situation in a game, those are the players that you want to fill your team out with, right? If there's an injury, there's players who can step up, and even if you're not going to be the 20-point scorer, there's things that you can do within the game that are difference makers. Off another technical foul. And free throws, it's a 52-43 game with 2:28 left to go. Newfoundland Rogues coming into Ontario, shot up, nice passing around from the Rogues.
Well, that's what you've got to do. You want to play inside ball. You got to make that decision quick. Passes have got to be accurate. It's a good sign for Newfoundland.
Back to a 9-point game. Marquard short on the three. He's missed a couple. He shoots 45.7% on the season from three. Harnett steps in long two. Now here's A.J. Davis over to Jamieson, loses the handle but grabs it back. Jamieson, double team, slips, somehow makes the pass to Kotov for two.
You'd think that the slip was intentional.
Barrett turns the corner. His two is off left. Marquard steps around, has it poked free. Stays with Sudbury.
See, even Charlie tonight doesn't have to lead the team in scoring. He's just, he's out there getting his plays, getting involved in the setups, and
he has led the team in scoring and on most nights, and I think they can give him a night off here or two. Mistake by A.J. Davis.
yeah, Davis with that nice play off the defender.
Boyd turns it over. Jamieson throws it off the glass. Kotov, I don't think was ready for that. Would have been pretty. Also, the floor cleaning kid had to sprint out of the way of Jamieson, who is streaking down the court. De Silva puts up a tough one. Kingsley De Silva having a good first half. Right around De Silva is Antonio Davis Jr.
Nice to see him get some points in this game. Big adjustment just joining the team last month, and all of a sudden there were some expectations. Takes time.
Barrett, tough shot, gets it to go. They're going to count it, and one with 5.5 seconds left.
Sudbury foul number 11, his first. Newfoundland shooting one.
Yeah, fighting off the arm, the hand.
At the line, no good. 5 seconds up ahead.
No.
And a turnover by Sudbury. .4 seconds left. And Partridge, coach of the Rogues, will take the timeout to draw something up.
Okay, this is a situation where, again, this is a learning experience where the guys are going to say, okay, let's draw something up. Let's see what's going to happen, because you're going to face this situation once you start league play.
Yep. I think learning on both sides, right? This is a good chance to draw up something for the Rogues. Good chance to defend these type of plays for Sudbury, but at the same time, that pass ahead is a turnover by Sudbury with a 62-47 lead, and 2 seconds left. Yeah, you're looking to get that last shot, but at what cost, right? In a closer ball game in the playoffs, those type of plays, maybe you just don't make them, and maybe it's just a situational thing. But I would rather you hold it, take that full court shot that kills the time, than throw a turnover and give the other team a chance to get some points at the end.
Or it could be a situation, too, where Newfoundland's protecting a 1, 2, or 3-point lead. Couple of seconds left. How are you going to play this out? And, you know, let the coach call the play. He'll draw it up. So you said the coach left Memorial University women's team to coach the guys, the pros. Interesting, very interesting.
He was there for quite a few time. He was CIS Coach of the Year in 2002, 2003. A lot of experience. Shot is up, no harm, no foul, as that spells the end of the first half here in Sudbury. 62-47 in favor of the Sudbury Five. Nick Liard, Rick Wyman on the call. Thoughts on the first half?
Well, this isn't going to be one of those basketball classics that we're going to be watching in about 10 or 15 years on some infinite channel that we'll be able to get part of the...
just zapped right into our brains.
Exactly. Yeah. Part of that 1,000 channel universe that they're working on. But, okay. Slow start for Newfoundland. They picked it up in the second, trying to be competitive. So we're seeing some interesting aspects of their play. Again, the Five, a little bit of mystery with their play. Sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're not, but yet you're seeing some half-decent play. And I think maybe from a psychological point, it's hard to keep that mindset. You're not playing Windsor, you're not playing KW. Big difference when you're on the floor and the opponent is easier, Nick. So it's one of those situations where the Five aren't being pushed. They're doing what they can to keep the lead. But again, Newfoundland trying to make a game of it. They're learning as this game goes along, and the Five will win. We know that. It's just a matter of, okay, some games are easier, a lot easier psychologically to deal with. And this is one of them for the Five.
Well, leading the way for Newfoundland, De Silva with 14, Barrett with 11, Kotov with 15 for Sudbury, and everyone on the roster for Sudbury has scored except for Guanju. So we'll see in the second half if he can get on the board and if the Sudbury Five can hold this one on. We'll be right back with more Five basketball.
but please welcome the Yes Theater's young production of High School Musical.
Together,
make sure to get your hands on this beautiful indigenous themed five merch. We got t-shirts, we got sweaters. I can see they are flying off the rack. Still quite a bit over there though. And the online jersey auction is live and will be running until next week. So place your bids for those beautiful game-worn jerseys. Jules here, and here to place in the whole arena, the merch shop. There is 4 plain indigenous jerseys left, non-game worn, don't worry. Still got an option. If you want to follow me this way, we got t-shirts as well. A little bit of sizing there. And then we got more over here. We got hoodies in youth and adult sizes. We can all match. Beautifully hand designed by local artist Raven. I just love it. So come on down here to the merch shop, and we don't only have that, we have our normal stuff. You can get tubes, you can get tubes with pom-poms, you can get scarves, you can get baseball caps, you can get little gibbets for your props. A little bit of everything. Come see Vince and my beautiful friends down here at the merch shop.
Welcome back inside the Sudbury Community Arena on a Thursday night. The BSL versus TBL. I'm Nick Liard, Rick Wyman on the call. So far, the edge has gone to the Sudbury Five, holding down the lead in most of that first half, all of the first half. They led by as much as 17. Newfoundland brought it within single digits a couple times. Late in that second quarter, it was at 9 points. It's now at 15, and Sudbury looks to be on cruise control going into the second half.
Well, the Five are just a structured team. Essentially, they've had a lot more time to prepare. They've been involved in league play. They played some tougher competition. And meanwhile, the Rogues, they're playing a couple of games, trying to prepare for their season, which, as you alluded to earlier in the broadcast, starts in March. So have they had the floor time that the Five have enjoyed? Not even close. So again, it's a matter of identity. What is this team going to be all about? And there's some talent there. It hasn't become cohesive. And that's what you want to do when you play these games right now. Yes, they counted the standings as far as the Five are concerned right now, but because everyone's playing Newfoundland. But conversely, Newfoundland they've got to get their strategy, their identity set before they start playing other teams. And that only goes without saying that, they got a couple of weeks to get their act together.
Well, biggest difference in this game, points in the paint. Sudbury doing a much better job getting inside, outscoring Newfoundland 36-16 in that category. So they're getting to the rim, they're getting fouled, and they're scoring at a pace that is going to make it an easy win for Sudbury. So for Newfoundland, we talked about it in the first quarter, it starts with defense. Focus on defense. They're a little bit shorthanded, missing a couple of their top scorers, but they have some talent here. Started on defense, make some stops, get some steals, and start to whittle this game down to single digits once again. Keep it close, as they did in Newfoundland in those 2 games.
Well, the Rogues having a hard time, trying to get inside. That's what they have to learn and then get accustomed to. So taking all your shots from outside the perimeter is not the way to win games.
Well, De Silva, listening to your advice, goes inside, and he's got 16 now off the bench for the Rogues to lead all scorers in the game. Kotov leading the Sudbury 5 at 15, and Devontae Jameson with 13 off the bench, as Markard has struggled to find his shot. 1 for 5 on the game, 5 points.
So maybe this is the half where Newfoundland wants to start working on their inside game and get inside and try to make things happen. I mean, okay, it's 62-49. Are you going to come back and win this? Chances are you're not, but work on your game.
Notice going inside Kotov. What a catch, what a finish.
Kotov finishing off some fine plays this evening and racking up those points.
We said it a number of times in the broadcast, but just so impressed at how high he keeps the basketball when he catches it. Right, ready to spring up, but that's the point. Right, you keep it that high and don't bring it down for the guards to reach in and steal it away. Keeps it high, throws it down, and it's milliseconds when he catches it to when it goes up. Nice no-look pass there from Kotov to Markard. 2-man game, 3 to shoot. Markard stripped. It'll stay with Sudbury with just 1 to shoot on the shot clock.
Yeah, that was almost a time-lapse factor right there in terms of trying to get inside, but timeout called, so they'll take a look. But again, Charlie doesn't have to be the big deal this evening. I mean, everyone else is picking up points as they should. The official hydration partner of the Basketball Super League is BioSteel, trusted by professional athletes. BioSteel provides clean, high-quality hydration to support performance and recovery all season long. BioSteel, a proud partner of the BSL, of course, and the Sudbury 5. Check it out. I like it. I like the various assortment of flavors. So.
Yeah, used to be my go-to when I was playing because A, it's Canadian, and B, it's delicious, right? You just shake it up in some water and you're good to go.
And it's, reasonably priced too, so a container goes a long way.
Yeah, exactly that, or you pick up, a 24-pack at Costco, no big deal.
I should get some shares and off my card at Costco. I get cash back and membership fees and whatever. I spend too much money at Costco. It's like my grocery store because I'm always there.
Impossible not to, right? You're like, I need some peanut butter. $430.
Yes. I had the rebate from my MasterCard last week, $277. I wound up spending $393.
Hey, you're stocked up though. You get some good snacks or what?
Well, my wife bought a couple of rugs, some shelving. I'm just going, I thought we were supposed to get food. No, we need this, as she says, for the house.
Right, well, I mean, you can't live without rugs, right?
Every time I take her to Costco, it's the same story. It's our bonding experience.
Hey, I mean, share a couple samples. It's love right there. De Silva with a nice move getting inside and finishes around Kotov.
Here you've got that floor direction from Billinger trying to set things up with notice. Now look at the pass. Marquardt.
Fundamentals underneath, a couple pump fakes in the finish.
And just a pause.
So the Rogues go inside and the Sudbury Five go right back inside. You see that? It's just a read and react play with the Sudbury Five, right? They're setting 2 screens down for Marquardt, trying to free him up for the 3, but he can read off that and go baseline. And notice with the great vision that he has is seeing that all day long. High arcing shot, that one touches glass. Long pass ahead and the finish on the reverse.
Wow, it's worked for Sudbury. Now the Rogues utilizing the stretch pass. I like that. Notice we said before, must have eyes on the back of his head because he sees things that other players don't.
Antonio Davis Jr. for 3, nothing but net. Near carry, and that one goes off of a Sudbury Five player, out of bounds.
Is that Davis who managed to get a piece of it?
Looked like it, yeah. Barrett with the ball, notice on him. Shaquan Barrett for 3. Davis the rebound quickly. Sudbury coming the other way. Billinger backs his man down right into the key, pulls up for 2.
Yeah, takes that pause, gets it up and in, and makes it look so easy when he gets in good scoring position.
Sudbury with their largest lead of the game at 18 points.
Look at the defense out there. No room at all.
Driving baseline, puts it up. Tough take. Turner, who got off to a really nice start, quieted down and is back on the score sheet.
Yeah, Davis could have made a play but didn't, so thus the basket for Newfoundland.
Nice take by Notice. All kinds of contact. How'd he get that to go?
Now he's going to get a technical.
He's going to get a foul. I think he just ran in to Turner and knocked him down. Watch it here after the bucket. He just going to, I think, try to steal the ball. And
okay.
Yeah, so he does get the technical, and it'll be Turner at the free throw line, 73-55.
Sudbury foul number 10 is first.
I'm going to say one thing tonight, that I'm glad the Five aren't wearing the popsicle or the creamsicle uniforms tonight. That would be a little confusing out there.
Be tough. Like watching a box of popsicles run around.
But I like the Five unis for tonight. They always do a good job of getting some good-looking uniforms for the guys.
Stolen away. Notice 3-on-2 behind Marquardt, has to put on the brakes. Davis, nice find. Marquardt off the body. That one pass was nearly there to Billinger for 3.
Now the Five will regroup and inbound.
A good try by Marquardt there. Poked away. Notice Kotov cuts back door. Can't finish with the left hand, then swatted away by De Silva.
De Silva with some great D there. He had the height.
Boyd still can't find it. Leading scorer for this team, 5 points. Marquardt for 3, back on the board, Charlie Buckets.
Well, anytime Charlie Marquardt has that kind of time and angle to shoot, he's not liable to miss.
There's a shot and an answer from Leonard Turner. That's, you know, a frustrating thing if I was the coaching staff of the Rogues. He had 2 games against the Sudbury Five to kind of get that in-person scouting report, right? And you also have the film. our games are on YouTube. You can watch them, and leaving shooters open like Charlie Markar, just unacceptable.
You got to pick up the open man.
Yeah.
And the Rogues have been guilty of that this evening.
Well, it's got to be somewhere on the board in the scouting room. Do not leave 32 open. I mean, if he wants to drive and beat you that way, go ahead, but you're up on him past the three-point line. It's got to be that way. And again, given some space, shot just does not fall. Now right into the contact. Turner off to a great start in the second half.
Yeah, cut right in front of Kotov, actually a small bump, and got the bucket.
Double team comes on Markard, finds Kotov. Taken away, and nice save and steal by Turner, and that was a perfect example of what happens to when Kotov, he brings the ball down, the three players converge, and why it's so important to keep the ball high.
Yeah, they're crowding him as Kotov takes a breather on the bench, but again, that's something that you pick up at halftime.
Yep.
When you see number 10 out there, get to him quick. Don't let him get that shot away.
Couple fresh bodies in for both teams. Harnett had a pretty good shooting first half at 5 points as the Rogues back on the board again, 79-66.
Nice turnaround bucket there.
So it was an 18-point lead, now down to 13. Jamison thought about the three a couple times. Working the ball around. 5 to shoot. Notice for 3. Contact, and he'll shoot 3 at the line.
Back to the line, we'll see.
Dwayne Notice will shoot 3. He's 74.7% free throw shooter. 17.1 points a game for Dwayne Notice. Longtime member of the Sudbury Five, now a champion. Former South Carolina Gamecock.
I'm thinking the Rogues, if they're not playing strong competition on a regular basis like Kitchener, Windsor, Sudbury, Montreal, how are they able to get to that next level in their game? Because let's say they go back home and play weaker competition, they're not going to develop as they should. And doing this sort of thing right now, the first of 2 here in Sudbury, is a good learning experience for this Newfoundland team.
Notice with 2 at the line, or 3, sorry, at the line, making it an 82-66 lead. Bridgewaters turns the corner out to Harnett. The defense from the 5. Harnett spins, bounce pass, has it go off the knee of Stomple Jr. Rebound off the shot.
There was no look, no attempt to pass that ball whatsoever.
Bridgewaters, he'll take the 2. Emmett Duval in the game, got the rebound. Bounce pass to Duval. Strumple on him. Duval is working his magic in this game.
Yeah, just going in and getting a hook on the ball, and up to 84 for the 5.
Long 3, no good. Duval with a rebound. Duval at 6 points, one of his better games for the Sudbury Five. Shot too strong from LaFaux. Bounce pass, Jamison, underneath, finish. Nice pass from Notice.
Yeah, the veteran setting up Jamison on that play. And again, now the 5 back to where they were in the early going of this game, just making things look easy.
Well, Dwayne Notice, just 8 points on the game, but he's got 6 assists already. Go along with 3 rebounds, shooting 2 for 10, but contributing in other factors.
Here's the steal, all alone.
On the runway, LaFoe, easy 2.
He hasn't had a bad game tonight, LaFoe.
Notice stripped away, LaFoe no-look pass. Turner, hard foul as Duval takes him down.
Catch the Sorta Local channel on YouTube and subscribe today. They've got a full lineup of podcasts, including the BTB show and the Unlikely Innovators. So again, check it out and enjoy. Show some love. Subscribe, tell your mother, and again, tell a friend, more importantly. Sorta Local with the kind of podcast material that you want to hear in and around Greater Sudbury or wherever you're catching this broadcast here this evening. So some good stuff there.
Are you going to have Dwayne Notice on after that nice bounce pass, or what?
We could do that. We could do that. Be great to get some basketball content on. It's and we've talked about this before about would a summer league ever fly, and I'm still convinced that it's too bad that Sudbury couldn't get into the Cross Canada Summer League. Because I'm just thinking, like, I love it, you love it, and you know what? It's just a matter of people find summers so short here, they don't want to spend them in a rink because that's what they do for 8 to 10 months during hockey season with their family or for whatever reason. But just one of those things. I like to see high caliber basketball, and I like that National League.
You know what, it comes down for me that, you know, when is the point where, you know, the Sudbury Five say, we want to test ourselves a little bit more, right? And nothing again. I mean, Kitchener-Waterloo has a great franchise. Windsor has been around for a very long time. You know, Bill Jones has done such a great job with that program, and they're always competitive. And then you got Montreal now in the league with Lake Erie. But it's a consistent, you know, gain a team, lose a team, gain a team, lose a team, and it's not, you know, growing to a point where, hey, we want to test ourselves, right? And we, you know, the Sudbury Five going against these teams, and if it ends up being, you know, champions again, it's just, you know, it gets to a point, well, how good are we? And it's tough to really tell when it's just, you know, 4 or 5 teams.
Difficult to prove. I mean, okay, so you win again, and then what do you do? And I've got a feeling that there's some teams that are just hanging on barely, and unless they get the support or the drive to play elsewhere, what are you going to do? And that's where I'd like to see Sudbury take it up a notch. But
and it's a proven, you know, asset to any league, right? This team and the attendance that they bring, the merchandise, and the team that they put on the court that's number one. I mean, they've been competitive every single season. Duval, what a nice move getting inside.
And there's some very good players in that league as well that come to play. We've lost players to that league.
Shot no good from Boyd, Diedrich Boyd struggling to find his shot in this game. Still just at 5 points for the starter, who played 136 D1 basketball games, Eastern Kentucky, Illinois State, and Tennessee State.
Off the rim.
Boyd again with the miss.
Yeah, the Five have been rebounding very well tonight, gobbling up all kinds of loose content, and we're going to have a jump ball.
Oh, a timeout called just before the jump ball. Jamison again down on the floor, and you see a couple rogues kind of just reaching for it, but it was Jamison who dove on the floor and got the ball. Huge play for the Sudbury Five, and just the hustle and effort. Now at halftime, I looked at the stats. Guangzhou, the only Sudbury 5 member to not score yet. He is on the court right now, so we're hoping we get some love from Guangzhou and at least a bucket or even a free throw to get that 0 out of the column.
The official hydration partner of the Basketball Super League is BioSteel. Trusted by professional athletes, BioSteel provides clean, high-quality hydration to support performance and recovery all season long. BioSteel, the proud partner of the BSL and the Sudbury 5. Check it out. Here we are, winding down quarter number 3 at the Sudbury Community Arena. Glad you could join us wherever you may be. 88-71 in favor of the 5 over the Newfoundland Rogues. And we'll see how this plays out. Just a couple of minutes left in the third quarter. Officially, 1:39 to play. And the Tri-State Admirals roll into town Sunday for a 2:05 start here. We'll be back at the arena to check it out, the team from the TBL. And we'll see what they bring to the table against the Sudbury 5.
Well, if they are watching this for scouting report, I mean, defense is going to be key off that inbounds play. Sudbury averages 110 points a game right now at 88, and we're still in the third quarter. Here's Boyd looking to get going offensively. Steps back, takes the 3, makes the 3. There you go.
Good decision. Took that pause, hesitated, waited till the man was approaching, then got the shot away.
14-point lead. Duval into the contact. Duval back to the line.
Yeah, a couple of arms got in his way, and he got fouled.
Newfoundland foul number 10 is scored. Kennedy is at the strike.
Surprising we haven't had an abundance of fouls in this game here this evening. We've had a few, but some games, of course, dominated by the foul activity, but so far not a bad game whatsoever.
Duval at the free throw line. 50% shooter.
And he connects.
Harnett will bring it up for the Rogues, correcting traffic. De Silva back into the game. He's having a nice one. Barrett, tough bucket.
Yeah, wedged his way in by the defender to get that ball up and over.
There's Okafor for 3. Rebound Harnett. Turns the corner. Pass to Barrett for 3. Long rebound comes out. That one looked like it went off of the hand of Emmett Duval, but it will go to Sudbury.
Nice setup there for that bucket, but after some good decision making by the 5 to get things going, and or by the Rogues to get things going, but to no avail. That's why you're trailing by 14 here in this game. Winding down quarter number 3, 90-76.
Jamison inside, somehow got the shot off as the quarter comes to an end. 90-76 for the Sudbury 5, and for as one-sided as the game has been, the Rogues haven't gone away, right? This hasn't turned into a cakewalk or a blowout or whatever the words you want to use, but they haven't done much to get back into the game either.
Still missing, and those opportunities, I thought they were going to work a little bit on that inside game, but again, they're trying to, but there's a lot of indecision out there, a lot of well, court chaos, as we like to call it. So again, once you start strategizing and get your game sets, you're out there, it almost becomes second nature. So there's still a way to go for this team to get themselves ready for the competition in the TBL Eastern Division. But again, they're up against a pretty good 5 team that can turn on a dime and start racking up points like they've done in this game.
It's the biggest difference. I mean, the biggest difference is the team in Newfoundland is in exhibition. The Sudbury 5 are midway through their season, and they have played together day in and day out. They've gone on road trips together. They've been through some hard battles, some blowout wins. So this 5 team is a well-oiled machine right now. Newfoundland just really kind of putting together their roster and starting their season, which will start next week, I believe, and that league runs until the end of May. TBL, and the champion there once again. There's teams all over the place. The Dakotas to San Antonio to out in Newfoundland. So it's a wide-reaching league, and this Newfoundland team, if they can find a couple extra pieces, have a pretty good chance.
Nick, you can't call up 12 guys and say, you know what, we're going to be joining a league, and we're going to Sudbury to get a couple of games in without any hard work in terms of getting organized. It's a difficult thing, and Newfoundland are better organized than the example I just gave you. So they played a couple of games, but it's going to take, I would dare say 3, 4 to maybe 6 weeks before everyone's in sync and you're on the same page.
Well, Zach, there's a couple players who are out of this game not playing for the Rogues, either staying home or injured, and one of them I think is a really cool story, and that's Stephen Earls, who is from Paradise, Newfoundland.
Yes, just outside of St. John's.
There you go. And he tried out for the team while also coaching his daughter's team with Paradise Minor Basketball, makes the team. And so I think those stories are great about both of these leagues. And you have a guy like Joey Puttister from North Bay who makes the Sudbury 5 and now gone on to become the head coach.
Paradise, nice little community just outside of St. John's. It's grown a lot since I was last there, but you'd like it, Nick. You'd like it.
I'd like any place out there. In the summer, though.
Yes, much better in the summer.
Last possession down, Guangzhou actually got the 2, so it is a 2-point effort for him, and everybody on the Sudbury 5 is now on the score sheet.
No one gets shut out on that 5 roster today. No one. That's good.
Everyone will be happy looking at that score sheet after. Got on the board. That one smashed the backboard. Nice no-look pass. Bridgewater's in the corner.
Now, is Guangzhou going to be staying with the 5 for the rest of the season? I thought he was here on a limited time basis, maybe to learn the North American game, but...
Well, he's on loan, and I would think that it's for the season, because the season for the 5 isn't a very long one, and I guess it all depends Chinese Basketball Association when their season starts, and I would be just guessing if I took a guess when it does. I would think it closely mirrors the NBA season.
Okay.
So I think probably on loan until the end of this season, and if there's any games left, he'll come back or go back. Cecil Lee for 3. The bench wanted that one. Lee stripped away, gets it back. Jamison for 3. 5, 4, 3.
Nice look by Jamison on that one, and of course, fired that like a dart.
99 points for the Sudbury 5, 1 away from the century mark. Rogues at 78.
Jamison with 18 to lead the 5, just ahead of Kotop.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth in points. Zhu gets charged for a foul as a little shove in the back of LaFaux.
Well, he's on the sheet now officially with a foul.
Foul and a couple points.
Yeah.
So he's filling out those stat categories.
There you go. They're going to try and set him up here. Ju down court rather quickly.
Jamison nearly does it all himself. A little bit of an unorganized play there for the Sudbury Five. Tough shot from LaFoe. He'll go to the line for two. Foul to Cecil Lee.
Sometimes I see Ju out there on the floor, and he's kind of wondering what's going on here. Where do I have to go? What am I going to do? I would think that Chinese basketball, far more structured. This is your position. This is what you do. Rinse and repeat. This is more free form. These are pros. They've had a chance to execute various game strategies and just roll with the game as it develops. But Ju, I think, comes from a far more structured game.
Well, the tough part for him too, right, is if something goes awry and something changes, there's that language barrier,
yes.
right? It's tougher to communicate as Ju goes right into the contact. But he's got a strong base, good shooting for him, and I think he's got some potential. Nice finish there by Boyd, rising up for two.
Ju in possession. What's he going to do? Well, that wasn't nice.
Lee out of bounds, and they've got like a gong here, and they really got to stop hitting that.
Yeah.
Someone's got to tell those kids enough. Kid, sometimes you can't have everything. You get one gong, that's it.
Well, remember those horns that they used to sell at carnivals and what have you?
Yep.
Fans used to bring them in here, and I could remember the late, great Bert Keeney would always say, he'd always have a great comment about people putting away their horns. Otherwise, something would happen.
Ju for three. Jamison grabs the rebound, passes over to Lee. He'll try his hand at a three.
Ooh.
Just rattled out.
Yeah, hit the inside of the rim and bounced back out.
Tough shot put up by Boyd. And he'll go to the free throw line, shooting two.
And Demosthene is arguing his case. His arms were up, but there was almost a bounce off his chest. And the thing is, he's probably saying, what did you want me to do?
Not much else.
And he's still talking to the referee.
Boyd good on a couple free throws. 99-82. Sudbury has been stuck on 99 for a little bit. Jamison looking to change that. Ju in the corner for three. Kwon Ju.
I like that. Like to see him succeed out on the floor in his limited playing time.
Jamison did not bite on the pass fake, and then Bridgewater's threw it right into Cecil Lee, who had to go off his leg out of bounds. It will stay with Newfoundland. Newfoundland did just beat Lake Erie. Another day, 124-116. Boyd had 34 in that game. Ju for three. Got fouled. Will go to the stripe for three. Nearly had a 4-point play.
Got to give you credit, Nick, tonight. You have yet to refer to Newfoundland as Newfoundland.
Oh, thanks,
which
man.
irritates me galore, but it's remarkable because someone at work today said, what's this team from Newfoundland? I go, always remember, understand Newfoundland. And that's how I said, that's how you can best remember. But Newfoundland? Really?
Yeah, I mean, milk. Some people pronounce stuff differently.
Even the Newfoundlanders aren't too fond of being referred to as Newfoundland.
No, you know what? I'm making up for when Montreal plays and I butcher French words, even though I'm from a French-speaking community.
Oh, is that right? I wasn't aware of that. That would be would that be Valterize or Handler?
No, it's. I got to grade 9, and that was as far as I took my French. (103-82). Jameson stepping back for 3. Bounces around, goes out of bounds off LaFaux. Sudbury with 14 on the shot clock. 6:49 left in the game. Have a timeout here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, French is a difficult language for some. It's one of those things. Briefly, my wife worked in a flower boutique, which was predominantly French. It used to be on Notre Dame, called Moulin à Fleurs. So people would call up and be perturbed because she couldn't speak French.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, the guy who ran the place said, if you could find a better person to work with flowers than Sharon can, I'll take a look.
Right.
But
there
you can't. But you can't. So I said, that's your kryptonite, Sharon. You could do flowers well.
Did she learn French?
No, she just had a hard time. She grew up in St. Catherine, so.
Hey. I mean, I think that most flowers are the same in translation, right? Like a rose is a rose.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
I mean, the word dozen's probably different, but.
Very close. Very close. Very close. So as we wind down this game, we're going to look ahead to Sunday as well. Tri-State Admirals coming in from the TBL. And again, we're probably going to get a similar situation with a team that hopefully has played a fair number of games so far this season, being from the Tri-State, that they'll be able to provide some legitimate competition for the 5.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that they went up against Lake Erie, pretty close in that, and just hope for on a Sunday afternoon, there's going to be $1 popcorn, so the kernels will be flying around, and just hope a good game for the fans, and that they go home happy. Shoe out of bounds. It'll go to the Rogues.
Well, a bucket bag for popcorn, you can't, it's better than the price of admission. That's a great deal.
Exactly. Crossover, double team comes for a second to Silva, who slowed down his scoring, out to Harnett for 3. Kingley De Silva at 18 points, most of them coming in that first half. At 14 in the first half. That was Emmett Duval, who nearly had a beautiful poster.
Well, if there's anyone listening from Newfoundland tonight and knows of a way to make sure that I can get a dozen Black Horse or even a 2-4, let me know. rick.wyman@bellmedia.ca, because when I lived in Newfoundland, Nick, nothing better than a cold pony.
Well, describe it for me.
It just had a unique taste.
What's the first taste, the sip taste like?
It had this unique taste about it, and I was like, love at first taste.
Is it a beer? We're talking a beer?
It's beer, yeah.
It's a beer,
Black
like
Horse.
a stout?
No.
Like on a Guinness side?
It's more of an ale.
Okay.
Or it's a beer, but, it has that, hard to describe. And it's been so long since I've had one, but I just like one of my favorites. Only in Newfoundland.
I mean, you may have an abundance coming. You should have gave the home address.
Just send it to CTV Sudbury.
Rick, why is there so much beer showing up all the time? Fans.
Oh, people in Newfoundland, the most generous I've ever met in my life.
Oh, for sure. Barrett fading away, blocked by Jamison. And gets up for that one.
Nice stuff.
Cecil Lee with the dunk.
That's where he wants to be. Forget about three-point shooting. You want to be there.
They're going to give a technical foul for hanging on the rim, but with that bucket, free hot chocolate or medium coffee.
Thought they only gave that technical for a little bit of an embellishment. But,
That one was a quick one. That one was a quick one.
Very quick.
These refs have they're on the lenient side, usually. But I think it was just how the ball went off of Lee, and so he gave him the delay of game. Not so much the hanging on the rim, it's that the ball was kind of kicked away. Silva looking for 20. Jamison getting in there amongst the trees, coming away with the board. Jamison crossover. Push off his man. There's Duval battling for the board. Hartnett will slow it down with 5:15 left to go. Boyd for 3. And Demosthene with the board.
Last couple of minutes, and of course the 5 up by 20 right now, so they can coast pretty easy. Let's give the guys who don't get a lot of playing time the ball and some points in this contest, and see more of that come Sunday as well.
Nice bounce pass finding its way underneath Hartnett for 2.
Yeah, the pause before the big hand came down just a split second later.
Jamison. Demosthene straight on 3. Good.
Way to go on one. You don't get a chance to see him light it up too often like that, but it's good.
Tough take by Boyd.
You know, sometimes we talk about the game at work and what have you, and they said, well, what do you like about basketball? I said, I like to see good plays and good players. I said, regardless of who wins, of course, you'd like to see the locals do well, but, you know, just players upping their game, and we've been treated to several very good players here in the last couple of years doing these games. And even the opposition, I get a real kick out of, you know, Billy White and countless others who come here and play good basketball. I mean, I'll watch March Madness when it's on, but I see more of this than I see of anything else.
Right. Boyd knocks down both free throws. Bounce pass. Lee trying to throw it down. Barrett with the block, but also picked up the foul, and it'll be Lee at the free throw line. That one would have drove the fans wild if he threw that down, cocked it back.
And the one thing I've got to do, Nick, is I've got to check out a Raptors game, but I don't want bad seats. I want to be able to see the play and how it's set up, comparable to something that we can see here. But again, some of the ticket prices, you go online, it's like, okay, are you ready to mortgage the house? And Scotty Barnes, by the way, top shelf in my books.
Yeah, all-star appearance along with Brandon Ingram. Having a really good season. Jamison takes the charge, going the other way. And that just shows you what kind of player Devontae Jamison is, taking a charge at this stage of the game with the score the way it is. Not easy. Take it off the chest with full speed. Up 21.
Yeah, sometimes standing up there and taking the hit can go wrong, but he stood his ground. So Sudbury ball with a couple of minutes left to play here in quarter number 4 and a big lead. I'm thinking they should hit 125 tonight.
That's that's the over-under?
Well, I'm just thinking that they've got 15 points to go. You've got 350. Okay. Another 15.
Jamison. Step back in a beauty. Just misses the shot. Wanju picks up the foul, reaching over the back.
Yeah, trying to wrestle that ball away.
Sudbury fouls 24, his second Newfoundland possession.
Turner puts it up. He gets fouled.
Guangzhou again, back-to-back fouls.
Sudbury foul 24, his third Newfoundland.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Well, he's on the score sheet. That's the big thing. Got some points, got some fouls.
Sunday's game, 2:05 start. There's also a chance to get a couple autographs from the team. There's autographs and hoops after the game, so you can meet the team, get some autographs, shoot around a little bit with the team, challenge someone to one-on-one if you want.
There you go. How would you rate against some of these guys?
If I win, I'm on the team.
There you go.
That's the deal. Nice take inside Okafor. Barrett, pass out, Turner, Euro step, puts it up. Duval ripping it away. Jump ball called.
So last year I met a player, basketball player, played some junior college ball here. And he says, I want to try out with the 5. I said, you think you can hang with these guys? He goes, well, yeah, it's pro basketball. He says, I'm as good as some of those guys. I said, so I gave him Logan's number.
Yep.
We've yet to see this individual appear on the bench, let alone a game. But the thing is, it's one of those
rehabbing.
things.
You know, he's injured. He's working his way back.
It's not easy when you want to go head-to-head with some of these guys. I just thought, like, his attitude at the time was very positive.
Yep.
He says, I'm a pretty good player. I said, no doubt about it, but I said, you got to think about one thing. These guys are professionals. They played professional ball. They played, in some cases, some pretty serious university ball as well.
Yep.
Not easy. I give the utmost respect to these guys.
I mean, we've had players on the Sudbury 5 who have made Final Fours, who have made national championships games. A couple years ago with Travis Relaford, who played for the Kansas Jayhawks. I mean, you got Dwayne Notice on the bench, who went to a Final Four with South Carolina Gamecocks.
Yeah, this isn't easy.
It's not, and I mean, this is not to discourage anyone from trying out. You think that you're good enough? Have at it.
That's a TV show right there.
Have at it. Well, Pros versus Joe. Remember Pros versus Joes?
I remember that.
That was a prime example of what happens when you go against the professional athletes. Sudbury Wolves leading Saginaw right now, 1-0.
Who is that team? The Wolves on the road, 1-0 over
1-0 on the road over Saginaw. If anyone watching basketball right now cares.
Got to throw it out there. There are fans who like
they're
both.
part of the family, right? Part of the Sudbury Wolves sports and entertainment family.
1-0 in the third. Wow. But Saginaw had their chance. They won, so, you know, on the rebuild. Wolves coming through.
Okafor bides his time. Pass to Lee. Can't handle it. Joey Puttister and crew just trying to pull this one out. Harnett thought about the shot. Goes inside. Double team comes. Now Harnett for three. Swish from Harnett.
Yeah, the give and go, and he got himself into position after dishing off earlier.
Got a good shooting stroke, Ryan Harnett. Now to 1:14 on the game for the Five.
I got 11 minutes or 11 points to go here the next 2 minutes.
Spinning is Turner, and a tough bucket for him.
See, and that's what you want to see in some of your players, trying to make those difficult plays.
Demosthene passes baseline. Lee going for the reverse.
That was a tight spot for him to try that, but he gave it an effort.
Wanted to put on a show. You can't fault him for that. Guanju, who started off with no points, is now up to 9 on the game.
And a couple of fouls, so hey. That's good coming off the bench for him.
Turner turning his man around and just filling the stat sheet at this point for a couple players. Okafor. He's got Sorrell on him, takes it right to the bucket.
So I'm watching Guanju on that play as it was set up. So he's stationary, but the thing is he's pointing for his teammate to go to the corner, but he also has to be in position himself to make himself open and get into position to score. Otherwise, he's not going to get the ball.
So much of basketball is read and react, and you know there is a set play, or there may be a set play, but things happen, and you just have to be ready to react to that. And I mean, he's having a wonderful game in this one, and the more court time that he gets in these type of games, I mean, the better off. These games are especially important for guys like Guanju, especially with that language barrier and being in a new country. It just, you know, working, you know, basketball can be a game of communication, but also no communication as well. Zhu, double figures for him, give him 11.
There you go. Got the ball. Nice setup there, and why not? And the finishing touch for Newfoundland. That'll be it.
Spells the end of this game. 122-102. The Sudbury Five win their third straight against Newfoundland. This one by the biggest margin, and this one on home court for the Sudbury Five. So 11-3 on the season.
Well, a lot of players got on the score sheet, as we just saw. Guanju getting 11 points for the game, 3 fouls. But again, Jamison and countless others. Charlie Marquardt didn't have to be the big guy. Neither did Dwayne Notice. Other guys did their part. And again, right across the bench, everyone got a taste of playing, and that's a good sign. I mean, it wasn't an intense game. Newfoundland, I hope, picked up some pointers in that contest as to what they have to do. We'll see them a little bit later on in the season, but again, it's one of those things where the Five were not pushed whatsoever, maybe for a little span in that third quarter or so, but really not hotly contested.
Well, if you tell head coach Joey Puttister before the game, hey, you're going to win by 20, Charlie Markard had 10 points, Dwayne Notice had 8, you're going to take it. And unlimited minutes, right? You got to rest them a little bit. Notice didn't really have to play all that much. He ended up with 8 points. Kind of struggled shooting, but 6 assists. Markard, again, didn't play a whole lot, especially in that second half. Finishes with 10, but 7 players for the Sudbury Five in double figures, and Devontae Jameson leading the way with 18.
And that's a good sign, because how often did we say in years gone by that we'd like to see more depth scoring? Well, now you're getting it. It's not the greatest opponent, but this is all going to come in play, because when guys have to be summoned off the bench in a playoff game or just a close contest, they should be ready. They're learning as they go along.
Well, we will be back on Sunday. The Tri-State Admirals come to town to take on the Sudbury Five. For Nick Liard, Rick Wyman, and everyone behind the scenes at Sudbury Wolves Sports and Entertainment, thank you for watching Five Basketball.
In the kitchen.